I'm Walter Schwimmer, born in 1942 in Vienna, grown up in Austria, having been Secretary General of the Council of Europe from 1999 to 2004. And after I finished my mandate in the Council of Europe, I was invited by Vladimir Ivanovich Yakunin, founder and president of World Public Forum, Dialogue of Civilizations, to join this organization. And it was an easy decision for me to join World Public Forum, as the Dialogue of Civilizations was already one of my priorities in the Council of Europe. Because it's my conviction that we need just more dialogue in this world which is rapidly changing. And we are still facing global problems. Globalization has its good sides, but also its dark sides. We are still facing the poverty gap between North and the South. We are facing the problems of climate change. And unfortunately, we see too many conflicts, armed conflicts in this world. Therefore, for global challenges and global threats, we need global answers. And the World Public Forum Dialogue of Civilizations is one interesting attempt to give global answers to the existing problems in this world. Solving problems through dialogue, because I'm convinced for no global problem, for no regional problem, there is an armed solution, there is solution by violence. Solutions will only be found through dialogue. And this is what World Public Forum Dialogue of Civilizations is about. It was founded 3 years before I joined it by Vladimir Ivanovich Yakunin, a Russian personality, and Jagdish Kapoor, an Indian philanthrope, a man who considered in the age of 90 himself as futurologist, dealing with the future, which was amazing. And he was a fantastic man. Unfortunately, he's not anymore with us, but his legacy is still alive in the World Public Forum. And Papa Nikolaou, who is a Greek-American businessman, was the third man, together with Vladimir Yakunin and Jagdish Kapoor, to create this NGO, non-governmental organization, World Public Forum, Dialogue of Civilizations. The main idea is mankind has much more in common than what could divide us, but at the same time, our aim is to preserve diversity, to preserve each one's personal tradition, culture, civilization, religious beliefs. And this diversity, in my view, is an asset, a big asset. It's not an obstacle for mutual understanding. If we can create one very important thing, and this is mutual respect. I don't speak about tolerance, because tolerance is not enough. Tolerance means just one is tolerating you, yeah, but that doesn't mean he likes you. No, what we need is mutual respect. Everybody has to respect the traditions, the culture, the religion of another one. Or even if somebody has no religion, it's also something which is to be respected as a personal decision. But no matter to which civilization, to which nation, to which religion or not you belong, you should be open for the dialogue with the other. The respect for the otherness is the main objective of the World Public Forum Dialogue of Civilizations. Mother Teresa once said, peace and war starts at home. And the idea of World Public Forum Dialogue of Civilizations is to engage the civil society, ordinary people, in the dialogue of civilizations. It's of course okay if the bishops and imams meet each other, and rabbis and ayatollahs have good discussions and understand each other. But we mean, what we need is to have this understanding at grassroots level. And therefore, we insist that World Public Forum Dialogue of Civilizations is a non-governmental organization, an organization for civil society. When Vladimir Yakunin invited me to join the organization, he asked me to chair the International Coordination Committee of the World Public Forum. I said we are looking for global answers to global threats and challenges, and therefore we need people from various continents, from various civilizations, from various nations belonging to various religions, sitting together, being united by the same objective. No more wars, no more armed conflicts, more dialogue among people, among civilizations, among religions. And in this International Coordination Committee, we have representatives from several parts of mankind sitting together, considering what should we discuss next, because one of the main events of the World Public Forum, Dialogue of Civilizations, is the annual Rhodes Forum, when about 500, 600, it was already 700 people meet on this nice, pretty Greek island of Rhodes in autumn to discuss contemporary challenges and to give answers through dialogue. And the program is prepared mainly by the work of the International Coordination Committee. After having been for several years in this position, Vladimir Yakunin also asked me to be also co-chairman of the organization, which was a great honor for me, which I accepted with joy and with pride. Working together with Fred Dahlmeier, who is another co-chairman, Alfred Gusenbauer, and Vladimir Yakunin, who is the outstanding personality in our organization as founder and acting president of the organization. I would not talk about the dream of the EU, I would talk about the European dream, which is much larger than the European Union. I was Secretary General of the Council of Europe. In my time, we had 44 members, now there are 47. Nearly all European states, including Ukraine, including Russia, are members of the Council of Europe. And this is the Greater Europe. And the Greater Europe is the subject of the European dream. I was used to say, in particular with view to Russia, there is no Europe without Russia, but there's also no Russia without Europe. Both depend on each other, and we need to find the role of Russia in the Greater Europe in partnership with the European Union. Not all European countries will join the European Union. Not all European countries want to join the European Union, but there must be one Europe for all Europeans, and this is in the Council of Europe, which should be used also by the European Union and by Russia to have a pan-European dialogue. So I'm coming back to this main idea of dialogue, what the World Public Forum Dialogue of Civilization is about. And I was fighting in the Council of Europe for this idea, and I'm still convinced that we need this pan-European dialogue, we need pan-European political cooperation. Crises like the one nowadays in Ukraine can be solved only by a dialogue of the main partners, and the main partners in that respect is European Union, Ukraine and Russia. That's obvious for me, and this dialogue must be fostered. This dialogue should take place. The sooner, the better.
Excellent for that part. Just a very perhaps unrelated question. Do you foresee that such dialogue can only occur between states, or do you think that non-state parties also have a role in the dialogue?
Everybody has a role in the dialogue, and as I mentioned already, World Public Forum Dialogue of Civilizations is a non-governmental organization. It's an organization of members of the civil society. We want to have the dialogue at grassroots level. States are used to negotiate. Diplomats are used to negotiate. People can dialogue, and this is my conviction. And when people are dialoguing, when people are talking substance with each other, then states have to respond to this dialogue in a positive way. And then negotiations can help to find solutions. I'm not against negotiations, I'm not against diplomacy, but there must be something more than just negotiating the own national interests. We need a global partnership for solving global problems. And in 2014 we are commemorating 100 years of the beginning of the First World War and 75 years of the beginning of the Second World War. Both wars were the result of non-dialogue. Both wars were the result of nations not listening to each other, and therefore when we look at these 100 million people who died in these two world wars, if we look how much certain countries suffered from this war. I was born during the war in Austria. I was 3 years old when the Second World War ended. And we all hoped that wars will never happen again on European soil. Already the Yugoslavian tragedy was a big negative surprise, and what is happening in the eastern part of Ukraine is again something which should concern everybody, and therefore we have to push for dialogue. That no to solution by violence, no to solution by arms. There are only losers. There is no win-win situation. There are only losers when there is war. Even the winners of the war were on the losing side when we look back to the two world wars. And therefore, I think this is the most noble objective of politics, but also the most noble objective of activities in the civil society to make wars impossible for the future.
That's perfect. I couldn't have said better.
Thank you.
Is there anything else which you would like to add? Anything about your hopes for the World Public Forum, about where you see it could go in the future? I would wish that the World Public Forum, Dialogue of Civilizations, will get more attention, also in the media. I know that there's an old journalistic saying, only bad news are good news. And therefore, when there is war, when there is civil war, when there is terrorism, the headlines are full with it. When there is dialogue, it's very hard to bring that to the attention of the media. But we need it, and people should know about, and people should be invited to join the global dialogue, a dialogue among civilizations, the dialogue among people of different traditions and of different religions.